Hello, thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and I am just hanging out in my brand new neighborhood here that I did a little bit of off-camera work. I am on the other side of this lake, which doesn't have a name yet. I think we need to give this lake a name. And I've created a nice little wooded neighborhood over here. I've laid down all the infrastructure. There's still some zoning I need to do in here, but I've got some nice tree-lined, curvy streets. There's the thorough way through the neighborhood is actually a set of one-way streets, which seems to be handling the neighborhood traffic pretty well for now. And it's connected to our special little tourism district. So it's we're kind of wrapping around this lake now with some nice real estate. And as you can see, the commercial demand is a little high right now, and I plan on whoops, I think I destroyed the wrong building there. So I plan on finishing out our tourism district, at least finishing it for now. Eventually we'll probably expand it again. I also did a couple of other things that I wanted to show you, mostly having to do with traffic. We were having some serious problems at this intersection, which used to look like this. It used to be one of these real simple on and off ramp overpass type intersections, and it was really red. And because of course we had traffic coming out from our Mulberry Farms and our Forest Park, so we had tons of trucks backed up here. So I created this roundabout, this highway roundabout. Shut this off for now. And it's working really well. There's a couple things I did. First, I did this roundabout, and I have the on and off ramps on each side, and then I have the connections from the street that used to be the overpass. Then there was still a lot of heavy traffic here and here, where there were a lot of trucks coming out of the farm, getting onto the highway, and then other vehicles that were trying to get onto the highway on this ramp were backing up. And the same thing was happening over here. The trucks coming from the tree farm were coming over here. So I created these little right turn. Oh boy, we've got some power problems. Okay, so make sure I fix that. Yeah, we're gonna need another one very soon. And then what I also did is I added two-lane one-way roads here. Now, an exit ramp is really just a one-lane one-way road. The difference between the highway stuff and the other roads, basically these two-lane roads work a lot like highways because they don't have stop signs, they don't have stoplights, but the speed limits are slower. So what I did is because theoretically you could just use these two-lane one-way roads as exit ramps, and they actually work just fine, except that what sometimes happens is that the cars have to slow down as they're approaching, which can cause backups on the highway. So I have this exit ramp here, which means they don't have to slow down until they get up here, and you can kind of see as you watch them, they slow down as they're getting on that road. And I did the same thing getting on the highway, so we have the two-lane roads here and then the one lane getting onto the highway, so this gives them a chance to speed up to highway speed before they get on the highway, and it's working really well. I was actually a little afraid there'd be some bottleneck here, but there hasn't been any. It's been flowing really well. Let's see, and basically the exact same scenario here. We've got I put a two-lane road here and here, so they have to go a little slower, but then it allows a little bit more capacity. It was especially important here because we've got cars coming on that are going to the tree farm, and then the ones that are going this way take the left lane. So it works out really well. And what's really cool about this is all the lanes ended up being utilized, because these trucks that get on here that want to get off over there, they end up coming on the left lane, and then they go to this lane, and they don't get into the right lane until right before they have to exit. So it's working out really well. And actually the traffic has gone down a little bit because our tree farm has gotten smaller. Oh my gosh, as you can see, we're having a lot of problems with them not getting enough workers. And basically what I've been doing is, as these buildings become abandoned, I've just been dezoning them so that no new ones grow in their place, just because we have a more highly educated citizenry now. So these guys are having a lot of trouble getting people to work there, and I really want to get some commercial growth going. With our tourist district and eventually our downtown district. And the commercial districts also require at least the first tier before they upgrade. I already did that one. Before they upgrade. And you can see after I dezone, the abandoned buildings eventually go away. Or the abandoned sites, or whatever you want to call them. And then they don't come back, so that's the beauty of that. But so our commercial is kind of taking up all of our unskilled workforce, so we don't really have, and even the workers here are overeducated. Now after the commercial upgrades to the higher tier commercial, then they do have more educated jobs. So it's just a matter of waiting for them to catch up, but that doesn't seem to happen with the tree farms. It doesn't seem like they ever really, their job requirements ever change. So this actually is the highest level, and they still just want uneducated workers. So yeah, I mean, eventually I think we're just gonna have to phase out the tree farms, which is fine. We've got enough money coming in, and I think that the commercial and office, especially if we get a lot of tourism. See, what do we have now? We have 72 tourists every week. So that's a little higher than we had before, and they're pretty much all coming in through the train station from the looks of it. And we're about to boost that number a little bit. I'm going to do a couple of things. Okay, here's my plan for this episode. Oh, actually, you can see I also expanded over here too. I built a small office park here and a little residential neighborhood here. And there's some commercial here, and eventually the whole city is going to extend into this direction. So I'm kind of getting ready for that. I'm getting my main connecting roads ready. We have our highway here. I kind of screwed up a little bit here because I realized that I built this here, and now I have no way for a connecting road to come through here. So the only connecting road that's going in that direction is here. But then we also have the highway, so we'll see how that works. I might end up having to do some demolition here eventually. Today I'm going to finish this, as I mentioned earlier. I'm going to keep building this little neighborhood here, which I really like. I think this neighborhood's pretty cool. It's a very quiet neighborhood. I'm actually keeping the commercial out on the edges over here, because we've got so much commercial over here, so we don't really need a very big commercial district here. And then I'm going to have some along here. I've got some offices here. So and here's our entrance into it's a single 2-lane one-way road going into this neighborhood. So we may have to upgrade that at some point, but so far it's actually working out pretty well, as long as I keep this to low density. Now if I start, I've got a couple of high density houses here, and if I decide that I want to do a lot of high density, then we'll definitely have to upgrade these roads. But I'm also at some point going to connect this into this neighborhood somehow. So that'll be another way in and out, and I'm going to expand in this direction, and then I think I'm going to have like an office park over here, and I'm going to make it kind of nice and, you know, with the wiggly roads and stuff, kind of like this over here, and just make it kind of you know, like kind of like a little suburban office park that you might find out in, well, in the suburbs. What I'm going to build here first, or next actually, is the Posh Mall. If I can find it. To kind of complement, we have our Mall of Moderation over there, so here for the people who want to spend a little bit more money, we'll put the Posh Mall. Let's see, where do I want this? Alright, about what's going on here. Not enough educated workers. Huh. So everybody else has too many educated workers. Okay, so they've got one uneducated. How about you have this one uneducated worker work over here, where we have overeducated workers. Oh well. Here's our tourism data map. As you can see, this tourism district is working out really well. This is all these pink buildings, or most of these pink buildings are zoned commercial buildings that are attracting tourists. Okay, lots of little pink cars around. We'll just put it right there. Alright, so now we can start placing bus routes. So first, I'm going to want to have a bus route. That starts there. Now, like I said earlier, the people are willing to walk quite a distance. So we don't need to put these, I mean, we can actually put these relatively far apart. I'm just going to have this go all the way around this loop, this tourism loop here, and then close it off. There. We now have our first bus line. Yay. So we should start to see some buses coming out of here. I don't know if they're going to... Wait, let's see. Oh yeah, they do start right away. Okay, good. I already picked up 13 passengers. Oh boy. Wait, hold on a second. I have a feeling we're going to need more than one bus line here. We've got 6 buses on this line, which is determined exclusively by the length of the line. Not by how many bus stops you have, not by how busy it is, but by how long it is, which is kind of a bummer. But I think at this point this is going to be more than enough buses. Oh, see, we've already got a full one. Oh boy. Maybe not. It really is one of the limitations of this game, is that you can't control how many buses are on your bus line. But we'll just keep an eye on this, and if we start seeing a lot of people standing at bus stops like this, because what's going to happen is every bus is going to get full as it passes this stop, and then it will not be able to pick up passengers at any of the other stops. But I don't know, so far it seems to be doing okay. But I did do a video on how to solve this problem. It basically, I've mentioned 6 different tips, but the main one is overlapping bus lines. Basically having several bus lines following the same route and just stopping at different places. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So now we have 2 bus routes, and hopefully that will help disperse our bus traffic. Alright, our buses seem to be doing okay now, and I am just about to plunk down our first level 4 unique building, and that is the Grand Library. I was tossed up between that and the Opera House. Both of them bring in about 100 tourists. Well, whatever, 100. I'm not sure what that 100 means exactly, but... and they both... The Grand Library is a little bit less monthly cost. Other than that, the stats are pretty much the same. So, that's what we're going to do. Yay. And then I'm just going to finish out zoning this commercial around here. What's funny about this library is that it produces noise pollution. It's a noisy library, apparently. There. Might actually still throw a park in there at some point, and a couple more paths, but I think that's enough for now. We've got a pretty full tourism district here. And it's booming really nicely. We are almost at 16,000, which is the point where we will be able to buy another plot of land. But before we are, I'm going to have to do a little bit more zoning because our population is actually dropping at the moment. So we need jobs. So for now, I'm going to just fill up this street with offices around this university. Oops. Alright, I just zoned our first high-density commercial. That's pretty exciting. I also extended our neighborhoods all over the place. We're almost to our next milestone. So the high density so far looks pretty much the same as the low density, but hopefully it will we'll see something new and interesting. That's kind of what happened with the residential too. When we first zoned our high density residential, it started out as smaller buildings, and now this is what we've got. Now we have some good residential demand. Let's see. Our city center has a lot of traffic, so I'm a little afraid to do too much high density there right now. Of course, we can upgrade these roads. I mean, these are only 4-lane roads, and this road should be upgraded. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to upgrade this road, and then we'll put some high density residential there. That sounds like a good idea. Actually, I'm going to slow this down. Okay, we'll upgrade it to the 2-lane with trees. We'll end up losing these houses. Oh, and then we will get a high density, and we actually have to de-zone, which you can do by right-clicking, I discovered. Alright, now, actually let me use this tool because it'll be a little bit faster. Hey, okay. Alright, and that actually should have solved 2 problems for us. It's going to give us a little more population. But first it's going to drop it. And it should have solved our traffic issue there too. Yeah, I'm going to do that all the way through. Coming. Alright. Now we need commercial, so I'm going to fill up some of these. Alright, we finally made it. We're a big city now. 16,000 people. We can now do water treatment plants, so we don't have to dump our poop in the river anymore. And we can do crematoriums, so we can get rid of the cemeteries. Yay! And we can buy a new area. That's what I'm especially excited about. And then at 19, we will be a grand city, but we won't be able to buy a new area. Yeah, once we reach 30,000, we'll be able to buy another piece of land. So, yay, we made it! So I think that's enough for today. We did a lot. Got this little tourist district is booming now. It is really awesome. In fact, I'm going to go... I'm going to go get my Street View mod and enable it so that we can run around through this district a little bit. We've got our little office park out here, which still hasn't been finished, just because we don't have enough demand yet, but that'll be ready. We've got our big, what did I call this now? Palm Hills residential district. And this is a very quiet residential neighborhood. A little noise over there, but a little bit of noise in the center. But mostly it's quiet. There's very little commercial here. We've got some more offices over there. And let's see, what else did we do? I added a lot of high density in our main city now. I upgraded some of the roads to 6 lanes. Main Street is now a 6-lane road, and this little Quiet Hills local street is now a connecting street with high density residential all along. I don't have much high density commercial yet. Got just a little bit here. Here's our high density commercial. But eventually, my plan for the next session is to completely redo this intersection because it is no longer doing such a good job of handling the traffic. It's red. We still don't have any backups, which is great. In fact, nowhere in the city do we have any backups. But we do have one problem that has been coming up quite a bit, and that is with the farms mostly, and some of the commercial. As you can see, the abandoned buildings are just not finding uneducated workers anymore. So I actually got rid of most of the tree farm, and I've replaced it with residential. So this actually, I'm going to fill this area in with residential. We've got a little bit here now, but as time goes on, I'm just going to get rid of this farm little by little and replace it with residential. Oh, we don't have a cemetery over here, do we? Oh, but guess what? We don't need a cemetery anymore. We can do a crematorium now. Okay, now there's only 3 abandoned buildings there, so... Yeah, I just can't seem to... I had this trouble just a little bit with my other city where some of the industry was complaining about not having skilled workers, but it wasn't to this scale. I mean, unskilled workers, but it wasn't to this scale. Our tree farm is completely, it's pretty much dead. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's okay. We can just get rid of that. The farms are doing okay, but they're having trouble too. We've got, and it's all overeducated workers. Because they pretty much want all uneducated workers too. Now we're not getting any complaints from our industry over here though, which is interesting. And they have all overeducated workers too. But I don't know. I mean, maybe because this industry has been here for so long, the same people have been working here for. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is, but for some reason this industrial park is doing just fine, but the farms and the tree farm just aren't, and some of the commercial areas are having trouble too. I mean, here we've got a commercial building. That's been abandoned. Probably because of workers. So that's the state of things right now, and we'll look into that a little bit more next time and try to come up with a solution. There's the overview. We can see all this is new over here. We've got a brand new suburb over here, and this is all different up here now too. This is new, and much of this is too. And this I think we did in the last episode. Alright, so here is our tourism district. And it is attracting quite a few tourists. So this part is old. We've already seen this. There's our botanical gardens. A lot of our commercial is upgraded. Oh, there's our pedestrian bridge. Oh, there's my car park. This is the one that I made. I don't really like the commercial noises in the game. It's very annoying, and it's a bit extreme. I don't think I've ever been in a commercial district that's quite that loud. And the noise is just so constant. It's like repetitive. The building is on. The university is on fire. There's a way to click that. There we go. Whoa. No parking. And there is our brand new Posh Mall, I think it's called. I remember last time I went over here by the lake, and I was talking about how cool it would be to have. Oh, look at the view of our city from here. That's cool. How cool it would be to have some kind of a walkway over here. Well, I made one. Here it is. It's a walkway connecting the tourism area to the residential area. So we'll park in the residential area. We need to come up with a name for this lake. And then we'll name the tourism district after the lake. See our highway off in the distance. Hey, watch where you're going there. I'm walking here. I'm confused. Where am I? Oh yeah, okay. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Jubilee.